Hi, so I know I usually just post lifting videos, but existing as a woman, as a transgender, as a minority person in Japan and in the world in general, politics are bound to get involved. So the TikTok ban, the transgender rulings in America, all of that is really, really very scary, even if I don't live in the U.S. Right? Um, I just saw this video about the people reinstating the Jim Crow laws in Mississippi, or trying to. It passed through the Senate, but it's not implemented yet or anything. But like the dystopian values and just a capitalism that is invading all aspects of my personal life. Even, I mean, here in Japan we also have capitalism. Not only that, but like it's also really scary because Japan is basically an American copycat. They, after the war, obviously the US was really strict about what happens and what didn't happen legally in Japan. So the constitution that was made here in Japan, it's based on the rules that were in the US. So, and that there's no military here, so that like all the military comes from the US. I see a lot of Americans in the military posting also here on TikTok. I don't want to get involved with that because I am very, very anti-military, right? Obviously, there's a whole, you know, nuance to, being poor and being forced to be in the military or whatnot. But point being, it's getting very scary. Even kilometers, or even the whole other side of the world away from the U.S. Even not being anything near to being a neighbor of the U.S., it's getting really scary to see this kind of rhetoric being thrown around. That the it's close to, what this reminds me of. I was watching Star Wars, the whole timeline, right? It's close to what Palpatine was doing with the Senate right before it became the Imperial, the Galaxy Empire, right? Um, because it was just the Galaxy Republic. Before there was a Senate, there was Congress, except everything was corrupt, much like it is in America. Like lobbyists are throwing money at the Congress people, and then the laws get passed and stuff, right? What I see happening though, and why is this so scary, is that not only is it roughly resemble the empire, I'm truly thinking it's gonna become an authoritative government in a really short time. Not only that, but then you also have this stuff happening with the oil industries and the agreements between the BRICS, like Russia, China, and then how they joined the Middle East. I'm not too educated on that front, but basically what's happening, that what I got the gist of, is that like because they're trading in yuan, in Chinese yuan, the dollar is not going to be as strong. Japan's economy is also very dependent on the dollar, and they're trying to their hardest to make everything be like a dollar. And although the dollar is very strong here in Japan, suddenly, if everything happens, if the entire shift of the world economy happens, and I'm just like stuck here in one little country, far away from everything that's going on, and still getting affected somehow, that's really scary for me. I don't know if the laws that they are implementing in other places. What about the Russia's anti-LGBT policies and stuff? Like, maybe that's gonna reach people now because of the alliance with BRICS. The U.S. already is very, very anti-trans, and maybe that's gonna reach other places, and maybe everything is gonna go backwards. It's very scary. It's very scary, and I'm scared of being in a historically relevant period of time. Like, I just want to work and lift and do laundry. Like, global pandemic, recessions, I fucking can't pay rent. Like, what the promise that I was made when I was a child was like, if you get education, you get work and you can live comfortably. I have a PhD. I'm in a high skilled position in a company that pays me pennies for my work. I went an entire month without work just because there wasn't work in that company, and that's like I was supposed to be guaranteed a living, and I'm not even getting that. As a millennial, on the edge of millennial and Gen Z, like nothing we were promised is happening. Not only that, but we are seeing the world crumble in front of our eyes. So I'm very, very scared, and I don't know exactly what to do about it from here in Japan. As a foreigner, I don't have any political stronghold. Like, I can't go and ask my representatives in whatever place in Japan because I can't vote here. I'm not a for all the years I've lived here, we can't have any influence on the way that the country moves. I can't I don't even know what's happening in my home country. The news don't go around the same because of the whole American centric way that the internet is placed, right? Like, I get more news from the US, from Australia, from the UK, from China, from Russia, from whatever, than my own home country. So I have no idea what's happening over there. And in Japan as well, I have little to no idea what's happening here. The conservatives in Japan are strong. It's an aging society, so everyone is old as fuck. So of course the voting is going into a regressive state because everyone wants to please the constituents, which are all dinosaurs. So no change is happening. There's barely any women in the workforce. There's barely any women in STEM. There's barely any women in fucking politics in Japan. It's just, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my life. Like, I came all the way over here. I'm 28. The fuck do I do from now on? Like, I keep working my capitalist ass stuff. Just like work for pennies and be a slave. Are we supposed to just take it? I don't think so. Like, I think I can't join everyone that's in the US and revolutionize and make a protest or whatever because I'm over here. What the fuck can I do over here? Anyways. Comments, suggestions? I don't know. Bye. How you thought?